If you guys ever wondered how truly easy it is to get a carburetor, a HI distributor, and get your V8 running on the ground, one wire goes to the distributor, fuel pump gets power, your starter gets power, and one wire to start the starter, and you are good to go. That is exactly how I'm running it. Fuel in a little bucket thingy, negative goes to the battery. I just touch the fuel pump to the positive, fill up the bowls on the carburetor, and touch that wire to the positive, and this thing starts right up. The last video that you guys have seen this motor, we couldn't get it to rev, and if you notice, I got it to rev just now, and the problem was that there was no pressure in the bowls and against them, I guess, to make it rev. And also I think the timing is just a bit off, but I got it just now where I could rev it, and this thing sounds like if I was to put the alternator, change the water pump, like do all the stuff to get it in the car, I should be able to drive it as is. But I think I'm still gonna go through the process of rebuilding that carburetor, solely because we have the rebuild kit, so I'd rather go through it now. But if I wanted to, I think I could put this thing on the road as soon as physically possible. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't see a reason why I can't put an alternator on here, get the right belt for the alternator, water pump, power steering, and the crank pulley, because that's just one belt. Hook up the water jackets, meaning that put on the little piece that comes in the front here, you know, block off the coolant port, block this off, and put a radiator on it, fill it up, and pretty much run it on the ground to see what it does. Because like I said, I'm getting the carburetor to rev now. I still have to hook up the vacuum to it. I think this one goes right to here, and then there's a small one in front that goes to the distributor. Set the timing properly, and then I'd have a good baseline of what this motor can really do. Because thinking about it now, that carburetor probably just needs to clean up, meaning that it needs to run and, you know, burn off whatever dirt that's inside it. She should be good to go. Alright guys, so there you have it. The 5.0 motor was running, I think, from the video before this one, but I'm actually able to rev it now, which is excellent. Like I said, I need to get the motor buttoned up. There's a lot of small stuff that needs to be done to it. We know that it has good oil pressure. We know that it's firing on all cylinders. I think the next thing we need to do is, like I said, run some water through this thing, make sure that the water jackets are good. What that would really tell us is that the heads are good, because this motor was sitting up for a long time. So we don't want any eaten up cylinders or anything like that. So run water through it, make sure that there's no water coming out the exhaust, there's no water getting in the cylinders or in the oil pan, and we should be good to go from there. If I do that test and it turns out pretty good, what I'll end up doing is putting the motor back in the car, because we'll be able to do everything else from in the car itself. So that car already has a fuel pump in the tank. We'll just have to get a return style regulator. This one that we have on the motor now is a non-return style, so it just sends pressure straight to it and pretty much tries to bust the seals on the carburetor right away, because there's no relief for the fuel pressure. So when you're using an EFI pump on a carburetor setup, you're definitely going to need a return style regulator to make sure that you are sending only 6 to 8 psi to your carburetor. But for right now, like I said, there's a lot to be done to it, a lot of minor stuff, and most likely the next time you guys see this, we're going to be testing this yet again on the ground. We're going to get a good amount of fuel for it, run some water through it, and just test to make sure that she's good to go in the car. Even just hearing the exhaust, I already know that I'm going to be cutting those cats out of it. I can't have a quiet car. I don't know what it is about sports cars and just sounding quiet. I can't do it. I don't care if like it's a ghost, or if you don't want people to hear it, or if it's obnoxious to you, but to me, if it isn't loud, like, what's the point? What's the point of having it? So I'm definitely going to cut those cats out of this exhaust system. It has some good shorty headers on her, and hopefully we get some good longevity out of this motor. But that's all I have for you guys for today. We're making very good progress on the 5.0 swapped Mustang. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Always remember, don't drift without your dreams, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.